Hi everyone, today we're looking at 5 tribes, the Artisans of Naqala, the very first expansion for Bruno Catala's game. While 2 to 4 players are still fighting to become the new Sultan of Naqala, a new tribe enters the scene. With their precious and magic items, the Artisans can definitely shake things up. Let me show you how. Since this first expansion doesn't change the basic rules of the game, we won't talk about how to play 5 tribes. You can always click on the link to access the episode entirely dedicated to the original game. Here we're talking about the Artisans of Naqala, an expansion that adds a new layer of strategy by introducing a new tribe. The Artisans are represented by purple meeples on the board. The players will keep the artisan they get in front of them. At the end of the game, the player with the most artisans will earn 3 points per artisan. The rest of the players will only get 2 points per artisan. In addition to the points they give, the artisans can provide special items to the players. When a player ends his move with an artisan, he'll pick up all the purple meeples on that tile as usual. Then he will draw as many item tokens as he has purple meeples in his hand. He'll be able to keep one of the items, the rest will be discarded. The items come in 2 categories: the precious items that will give 5, 7 or 9 points, and the magic items, amongst which is the Burning Scimitar, which can kill 2 meeples from any tile on the board. This could be very useful to place a camel and take control of the tile. The Fabulous Lamp lets you pick one of the revealed Jinn or draw the first one of the reserve. Thanks to the Enchanting Flute, a player can move up to 5 meeples to an adjacent tile. Unfortunately, one cannot take control of tiles emptied this way. During a move, the Flying Carpet lets you place the last meeple anywhere on the board, but only if that meeple can join another meeple from the same tribe, like usual. The player who gets the Rebirth Ring can search the item discard pile and take back an item already used, while the Tempest Talisman lets you move a camel to another uncontrolled tile. Finally, the Horn of Plenty lets the player refill and reorganize the resources in the marketplace without having to wait for the end of the round. In order to welcome the Artisans, this expansion comes with 6 new tiles to increase the size of the board. During setup, you'll need to take these 6 new tiles, add 10 randomly picked from the base game, and assemble a 4x4 grid. The rest of the tiles will go around the grid to finally obtain a 6x6 board. According to this method, all the new tiles will logically be placed near the center of the desert. The new tiles represent workshops, specialized markets, and a chasm. The workshop tile action is linked to the artisans. The player who stops at a workshop can spend an artisan or 2 fakirs to draw the first item from the pile. As you can see, the workshops are surrounded with 2 mountains which cannot be crossed during a move. Players will have to make their way around the mountains to access the workshops. The specialized markets work as the small and large markets. Here, a player can pay 4 gold coins to buy any of the 9 cards in the market. Finally, the chasm is a forbidden tile. No one can move on it and no meeples are placed on it during setup. In addition to their 8 traditional camels, each player will also get a tent. Tents work exactly like the camels. In fact, a player can use a tent instead of a camel to control a tile. The only difference is the way the tents are scored. At the end of the game, the tile will be worth its normal value plus 1 extra point per red tile next to it. If the tile itself is red, it also counts as an extra point. It is obviously best to place his tents in the midst of as many red tiles as possible to get the best points out of it. Just like the base game, this expansion comes with a scoring pad which has been updated to take into account the artisans and their items. The expansion also comes with 2 new Jinns, Gib, who adds 3 victory points per precious item owned, and Ta, who adds 2 victory points per artisan controlled. And here you go, now you know how to play the Artisans of Naqala, the first expansion for 5 tribes, so have fun and I'll see you next time in another episode with another board game on the table. Take care.